The former deputy president, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, has been extra busy since he was impeached, contrary to what many thought. You see, for most people, when you are impeached, you are supposed to go underground, but not Rigathi. Rigathi has been super busy. When he's not interrupting an event, a social event in Mount Kenya to either address them physically or via the phone, Rigathi Gachagua will be seen hosting politicians in his home in Wamunyoro village, the so-called Wamunyoro residence. When Rigathi is not attacking William Ruto in some church in Mount Kenya or somewhere, he will be addressing vernacular stations to attack President Ruto. So why is Rigathi this busy? What is he up to? What is Rigathi Gachagua's main goal? Well, that is what we are going to answer in this video. And if you're watching for the first time, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel so that anytime we produce a video like this, YouTube will notify you. Ladies and gentlemen, today, Rigathi Gachagua spent almost the entire day hyping an interview with several media houses. In fact, there were pictures of MPs and leaders from different places streaming into his Wamunyoro's home. People were even taken through a tour of the residence and were promised a bombshell. The event was so hyped you would think that Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president, was going to launch a political rocket towards State House. But when the time came, Rigathi Gachagua was just regurgitating the usual talking points. Rigathi was saying how Kikuyus will never support Ruto moving forward, the usual thing, something he has said 1,000 times. He was like, they are done with UDA, something he has always reminded us from morning to evening, and that they will never join any coalition without a political party. These are things that Rigathi has never skipped an opportunity to talk about anywhere, everywhere. So why even call these press conferences? Why even call these interviews? Why go to these media houses? Why is he all over? Well, Rigathi Gachagua, ladies and gentlemen, has a goal to achieve. Rigathi wants to be the Raila Odinga of Mount Kenya. And I want you to get this clearly, ladies and gentlemen. Rigathi's goal is not, surprise, is not even to get rid of Ruto come 2027. No. What Rigathi wants is to enjoy the power, the influence Raila Odinga enjoys in Luo. Rigathi wants a situation where his word will be law in Mount Kenya, in the 10 counties that form Mount Kenya. He wants to be the one to decide who becomes the governor. Even as of now, the people who visit Wamunyoro are not visiting Wamunyoro to go and sample the view. No, they are going there to cut political deals. Rigathi wants to be the one to dictate who becomes what, where, and when. And this is not some guesswork or some part of my imagination. Rigathi himself even said this, even when he was still the DP. He had made it clear that he will tell the people who the right leaders are. And so his goal is to be the Raila of Mount Kenya. Unfortunately for him, this requires two things. One, considering that he is impeached and he cannot contest, he has to be relevant past 2027. So what Rigathi is doing currently, why Rigathi is all over, why he is addressing press conferences, why there is no topic he won't comment on, is to remain politically relevant. Remember, Rigathi is impeached, but he has a goal of becoming the Mount Kenya Supremo. That is a very difficult endeavor to achieve. So it has to be relevant at all costs. And that is why you see him all over. That is why he will be addressing the Luhya people. He will be visiting Ukambani every now and then. He is all over Mount Kenya, and there is no topic Rigathi Gachagua doesn't comment on. That is what is keeping him relevant. He wants to remain relevant past 2027, as I have told you, to achieve that goal. So everything Rigathi is doing is for one purpose, to remain relevant so that he can achieve his goal. But like I said, his goal has two challenges. First of all, he has to remain relevant, which is not very easy. That means Rigathi will have to entertain guests every day in his home, which is costly. Unless those people are taking him money, it will drain him. He has also to be everywhere, commenting about everything, attacking the president, lying here and there, which are also exposing him as it continues. But there is another challenge here. Mount Kenya people ordinarily are the ones to dictate their leaders. In Mount Kenya, I have said this before, Mount Kenya leadership is the exact opposite of Luo leadership. In Luo land, people prefer a supreme leader who gives directions to the people below. And those directions are supposed to be treated as law. So that is why Raila Odinga can tell Luos to recognize William Ruto as president in February of 2023, for instance, and they would recognize him and celebrate him and welcome him. But he will also tell them in March of 2023 that he does not recognize William Ruto, and most of them will reject Ruto immediately. So if Ruto visited after Raila has changed his mind, he will not be received, he will be rejected. In that part of the world, it is top down. Raila decides, or whoever is at the top decides, and then everybody else has to obey. In Mount Kenya, it's not that way. It is the opposite. The people decide down here, and then the leaders follow suit. So it's like if they have decided, in this case, they decided that they cannot support Ruto since Ruto is working with Raila Odinga. I've told you, you bring Raila, you lose them. Uhuru did that, Uhuru lost them. Right? Ruto has done that, Ruto has lost them. So if they have said no, then it is upon the leaders, the likes of Rigathi and etc., to toe that line. What is making Rigathi popular amongst Kikuyu now is not their love for Rigathi Gachagua. You can check their history. They have never loved Rigathi Gachagua. They have never considered Rigathi Gachagua one of their supreme leaders. No. Even when he was deputy president, he was one of the least loved. Ndini Nyoro was more popular than him. What makes him their darling today has nothing even to do with the impeachment. Has everything to do with the fact that he's echoing their sentiment, is preaching, is speaking their language, is saying what they once said. They want Ruto to know that they are not going to support him no matter what. And Rigathi is articulating that whenever he gets a chance. So that makes Rigathi to be one who is following what the people want. However, Rigathi plans to change the tides. He wants a situation where he gives direction to the people. I'm not creating this. Rigathi said he would give direction to the people by January. Of course, I thought that is what he was going to do today, but he has postponed it to May. He has even said he's going to create a political party that these people will join. His aim is to change the entire thing so that it is top down. Rigathi decides who you associate with, who you don't associate with, which party you belong to, which party you can't belong to, who you elect as a leader and who you can't elect as a leader. Once he achieves that, Rigathi won't care whether he's elected or not elected, because that particular influence, controlling 10 counties and having absolute authority to decide who gets elected, is money enough for his family till kingdom come. That is Rigathi Gachagua's goal. It has nothing to do with him disagreeing with William Ruto. I can tell you here, ladies and gentlemen, that the same policies Rigathi is criticizing today, he supported them 100%. He is only criticizing them because he wants to speak for a group that does not want anything to do with Ruto anymore. Remember, the same Kikuyus here, who are now anti every policy that Ruto implements, were the same people who were supporting his policies. When Azimio was anti-Ruto and were opposed to Ruto's policies, the Kikuyus, the people of Murema, were supporting those same policies. Today, they have changed. Azimio, especially the ODM people, are supporting the policies, while the Kikuyus have left and now criticize the same policies. That is what Rigathi is doing. He has just changed his mind because the people he represents do not want to hear anything to do with William Ruto. Nothing more. It has nothing to do with principles. It is not a matter of Rigathi doesn't believe that we should have affordable housing. He is on record preaching how that is the best idea. He not only campaigned for the idea, he was one of the people whipping the MPs to support this thing no matter what, even explaining to the people the benefits. So it cannot be like today something is so good that you are explaining its benefits, and then when you are out of government, it is the worst thing that you've ever seen. He is only speaking the voice of these people to earn their trust more. But the goal is, once he earns their trust, once he owns them, once these people feel helpless without him, he will dictate things for the people of the mountain. Whether he can succeed is another story. Because you see, if you check the history of Mount Kenya leaders, these people don't stay with a leader for long. You are only a leader when you matter. There is when Matiba was everything. There is when Kibaki was everything. There is when Uhuru mattered. Maybe Rigathi will matter now. But I don't see a situation where the 10 counties are going to embrace Rigathi past 2027 and take orders from him. I don't think so. Unless they end up finding themselves in opposition and then siege mentality sets in. Because if that happens, then it will be very easy for Rigathi Gachagua to just dictate things. Siege mentality is where these people will feel that they are at a risk of being destroyed or being eliminated and will need Rigathi's protection to survive. And when that happens, then now it will be very easy for Rigathi Gachagua to just decide what happens next in the region. But I don't think that might happen. I could be wrong. I want to hear what your opinion on this is. Why do you think Rigathi is all over? Why is he making noise here and there? Why is he attacking the president from morning to evening? Why is he recanting statements, his earlier statements, things that he used to support? I believe he is doing all this to remain relevant so that at least later he can achieve his goal of ruling Mount Kenya as their king, not even just a kingpin, their king, the way Raila Odinga is in Luo Nyanza. But I don't claim monopoly of opinion. What do you think? Now, if you found value in this video, please let me know in the comment section and drop a like. Also, share it with friends. And in case you've not subscribed, just take a moment, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss subsequent videos. Otherwise, if you want to know why I'm still persuaded 100% that Rigathi Gachagua impeached himself, watch this video.